Okay, all right, we'll start now. So, good morning, good afternoon, everyone. So, a very warm welcome to our second of our third three parts webinar in the APAC region. My name is Lynn, and I head up cybersecurity team in Ingram Micro Asia Pacific. And we are very excited to have you join us today for this very insightful and empowering session designed to explore the path to a universal SASE solution play together with Fortinet. Okay, so to recap our first session, we spoke about the advantages of partnering with Fortinet to accelerate growth. All right. So Fortinet has continuously been at the forefront of cybersecurity innovation, despite evolving challenges and market downturn. Right. We are definitely observing very significant cyber growth in the areas with Fortinet, especially with their suite of offerings tailored for modern workspaces. Okay, so in the last session, we also spoke about how to become a Fortinet partner. So if you are not one yet, so reach out to any of our Ingram Micro associates or Fortinet associates, right, to sign up as a Fortinet partner. Okay, so for today's session, we are very privileged to have Dave Lin, Technical Program Manager from APAC Channel 3 from Fortinet to share with us in greater details why choose Fortinet when we come to a universal SASE requirement. Okay, so at the end of the session, our APAC TEC cyber engineer Damien will also do a demo on the Fortinet solution, which we have implemented in our Ingram Micro Technology Experience Center. Okay, so by the end of the session, we hope that you will have a deeper understanding of Fortinet SASE and be very excited to bring your customer to our TEC for a virtual or a physical demo. Okay, so let us help you pitch for the solution so that you can maximize your potential as a Fortinet partner. And of course, throughout the session, please feel free to drop any questions into the Q&A chat, and then we can pick it up from there and discuss it over the session. So without further delay, I will pass the mic over to Dave, who will take you through the exciting content he has prepared for us. Over to you, Dave.
All right. Thank you, Lynn. So are you all seeing my screen?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Let me just pull it. Okay, yep. Okay, so good afternoon, everyone. So thank you, Lynn, for organizing this session. Yep. So my name is Dave. I'm the partner technical manager from APAC Channels Fortinet team. Okay. So I think today in this session, I'm going to touch on the topic of how do you actually explore the path towards a universal SASE solution. Okay. So, together in this webinar, I also have Damien Low, who is the cybersecurity consultant for Ingram Micro APAC. So Damien have actually put out a very exciting demo on FortiSASE. So this FortiSASE demo itself, right, is done by Ingram Micro. So the thing is that we want you to actually work closely with Ingram Micro and leverage on this FortiSASE demo that Ingram Micro have put up if you have any opportunities on SASE. Okay, so later Damien will touch on and go through with you the demo that he has created for FortiSASE. Okay. So this is the agenda that we have today. Let me just go to the next slide. Okay. So here's the agenda for today's session on Fortinet's Universal SASE. So we're going to touch on a few topics. So from market trends right up to the demo that Damien is going to share. So the thing is that after attending this session, right, you'll be very clear on the simple terms of what Fortinet Universal SASE means, the use cases, and also the customer benefits. Okay. So in this case itself, I'm sure that many of you have heard about the keywords that are being spoken by your customers out there, like ZTNA and SASE. So all these things is actually coming from three core areas that are driving this security transformation. Okay, the first trend that you are very familiar with and experiencing today is hybrid workforce. So Gartner estimates that over 94% of companies globally have onboarded to the hybrid workforce model. But the problem with this hybrid workforce model is that the IT and the network security teams, right, they are struggling to provide the consistent security to users. And then essentially users are also struggling to get a superior user experience when doing hybrid work. So this is actually the key fundamental reason that customers are moving and looking at their network design with the focus on redesigning on how their users and devices access the corporate resources, SaaS applications, and so on and so forth. Okay. So the other trend that is driving security transformation is about the growing adoption of SaaS applications. So in our daily work life, all of us could be highly reliant on applications like Office 365, Teams, Salesforce, and even Zoom. Okay, so Gartner estimates that many customers out there, on average, they have close to 100 SaaS applications. So there's a fundamental big shift from having all applications on-prem to now having distributed applications, which are very important for the employee's productivity. Okay. So what IT and security teams right now they are looking at is that they want to make sure that users are able to access this application quickly and securely. Okay. The third thing is also very important, and many of you have heard about this keyword called consolidation. Okay. Interesting to note is that before the pandemic, only 29% of customers are looking into consolidation. But post-pandemic, right, there's a big emphasis on consolidation because there is actually a lack of cybersecurity skill shortage, and there's a goal to simplify the overall network design. Okay, so customers are also looking to reduce the point products and also moving towards a much more consolidated architecture so that they can enjoy a better cost and also a better security posture. So what is SASE? Okay, so majority of you have heard of this key term, SASE. So SASE is essentially Secure Access Service Edge. So this is a cloud-delivered network and security convergence solution to address hybrid work. Okay, so SASE consists of two key solutions. Okay, the first key solution is the SD-WAN, which take care of the networking set of requirements. The other one is the cloud-delivered security, which is what we call the Secure Service Edge, which offer features like Firewall as a Service, ZTNA, and CASB. So now that we have looked at market trends, and we also have kind of understand SASE frameworks. So you can see that SASE framework over here, right, includes many key core components. Okay, so that means that there's actually a lot of confusion on what is SASE and what is not SASE. Okay, so essentially, what is not SASE is having multiple point products across multiple technologies from different vendors. Okay, so there are hundreds of vendors out there who claim to be on a SASE bandwagon, but the reality is that SASE is very complicated and they offer a very less secure and a higher cost of solution. Okay. The second set of the SASE framework, which is getting adoption, is around the dual vendor SASE strategy. So essentially, IT teams decide SD-WAN vendor, whereas the security team is deciding the SSE vendor, which has suite, Firewall as a Service, CASB, and ZTNA features. Okay, so the very classic example is that you could have a VMware VeloCloud for the SD-WAN, and then the security team could be choosing Zscaler for the SSE solution. But here again, when customers go for such solution, the cost is high, and there are multiple policy management. Okay, so essentially, what we are looking at is that there will be an evolution of this to a single vendor SASE solution, and then this will actually move on to a universal SASE solution. Okay, so Fortinet's approach is to provide all these capabilities in one framework called universal vendor SASE. So having one unified management will allow customers, right, to better implement and enable instant cost benefits as long as with a better security posture. Okay, so these are the three key use cases that are driving the SASE approach. Okay, so over here you can see that what we have over here is that pretty much a lot of customers right now they are looking into the first use case for SASE is the secure remote access, whereby customers might be using a legacy VPN solution, which provides implicit access, and this is very slow for today's network. Okay, so essentially, customers are looking into moving on to zero trust network access. So by doing that, right, they want to verify the posture of each employee's identity, the device, and only after certain checks are passed, then they will get an explicit access to the application. Okay, so we believe that this is actually a very key driver for the SASE framework adoption, as ZTNA is one of the key components. Okay, so the second use cases that that is the second project that is driving this SASE is the proxy replacement. So this is much more on the bigger and bigger enterprise customers. So some of these customers may have the older proxy from Bluecode or Symantec. So customers are actually looking into transiting from these technologies to advanced secure web gateway solution and CASB solution. Okay, this is actually very important because users are working from anywhere, and before they access any web traffic, they want to make sure that they have the inline inspection using the core security features like web filtering, IPS, SSL, etc. Okay. So the third one is about branch transformation, whereby Fortinet is a very strong leader. This is through our secure SD-WAN solution that we actually offer to our customers. Okay. So essentially, what Fortinet does is that, like what I mentioned earlier, most enterprise depend on different vendors for each SASE function. Like SD-WAN, they'll go to one vendor. SSE, they'll go to another vendor. So this kind of introduces significant challenges of controlling different operating system functionality and management consoles. Okay, so what Fortinet does is that with our universal SASE approach is that we take a traditional single vendor SASE one step further. What we do is that we provide consistent policies and controls on-prem and in the cloud. Okay. So this means that there will be a better seamless integration across all functions. So this is actually the type integration that we offer that you can see in this circle over here, from unified management to CASB to Sweep, ZTNA, digital experience, monitoring, and also the bi-directional firewall that we offer on our universal SASE solution. So essentially for SASE itself, right, in terms of there are three key use cases. So the first use case that we're going to touch about is the secure internet access, whereby we are looking into securing remote users and locations when they are actually accessing the internet. Okay, so this is to implement the key requirement of safe browsing from anywhere, whereby there's actually a malware and ransomware prevention. Okay, so later Damien is going to show you a demo on how customers can leverage on FortiSASE to prevent malware when they are surfing the internet and browsing the internet from anywhere. Okay, so the second thing that we offer for the FortiSASE use case in the SIA is that we have a deep inspection of the end user activity. So essentially, FortiSASE in the compute port itself, you do SSL decryption. What that means is that we will consistently inspect traffic for any malware and zero-day attacks when using when the users are actually browsing the internet. Okay, so what we offer also on the FortiSASE is that we offer market-leading security as a service. So this is actually backed by our FortiGuard Labs, so which means that we offer the best-in-class security efficacy through the FortiSASE solution. So over here, you can see that for secure internet access use case itself, right, we offer a very simplified security from one single pane of glass, like what you can see over here. And essentially, there are actually default profiles that are actually available for your fast consumption, whereby you can actually just click on the default profiles and apply this to your policies. The third thing is that there is also web and private application visibility that is actually offered, okay, whereby you can actually toggle between the internet access and private access to ensure that you are creating the respective policies for both internet access and private access. So the other thing to highlight over here is that for FortiSASE, the security profiles can be customized. You can actually click on the customization to actually block and also create new profiles that you would like. Okay. So the other use case that we have for SASE is that how do we actually provide secure private access? Okay. So for instance, you have a remote user that is working remotely. Then how do we actually provide this remote user a way to access the private apps they have in their private data center or in the or in their own private VPC that they have in Azure, GCP, or AWS? Okay. So what this means is that for our FortiSASE SP use case is that we integrate with ZTNA and SD-WAN. So which means that customers, when they connect to our SASE POP itself, right, they will have a secure access to corporate apps for asset protection and compliance. Okay, so what this means is that we can do a posture assessment of the endpoint could be running a Forti client over here. We will ensure that the posture is actually verified before we actually allow the user to access the applications. Okay, so what this means is that if there's actually a change in the posture itself, right, we can configure a policy to say that if the posture has actually failed, what has been configured in the policies, the endpoint will not be able to access the private application that hosted in the data center. Okay. So the other thing to highlight over here is that for our SP use case, we can actually do using the ZTNA, whereby we do a access proxy to the FortiGate on-prem for accessing private application. So what this means is that the Forti client will set up a TLS tunnel directly to a FortiGate, so that this FortiGate on the customer premises, right, will then do a proxy for accessing private application. Okay, that's the first approach. The second approach is that we actually offer with the SD-WAN, whereby the FortiSASE can integrate with our Fortinet SD-WAN architecture to provide secure private access. So what this means is that customers can actually use our FortiSASE to provide the SP use case. Okay, so what this means is that when they actually log into our FortiSASE POP itself, right, they'll be able to see at one glance what is their SD-WAN data centers, the available POPs that they have, and who are the remote users. Okay, so this actually provides a very comprehensive visibility across both the users and the locations. Okay, so another thing that we want to actually highlight to you is that how can you actually provide a secure SASE access? Okay, so the thing is that maybe, for instance, your customers are looking into how do they prevent shadow IT issues. Okay, so for instance, maybe today all of you are very familiar is that we are also using this cloud solutions like Dropbox or Google Drive. So the thing is that how do we actually prevent employees from uploading companies' confidential documents to Google Drive or Dropbox? Okay, so FortiSASE actually offers what we call the secure SaaS access through our inline CASB, whereby we can actually block malicious apps with the inline CASB feature, and we can also have a safe cloud application access, whereby, for instance, you can actually prevent the users from uploading documents to Google Drive or Dropbox. Okay, so this actually offers a very deep control and a view of the application contents. Okay, and essentially this is actually delivered through our Forti client agent, which covers all the use cases from SASE, Zero Trust, and also SaaS security. So the CASB actually supports both inline and out-of-band for SaaS applications, whereby you can actually view the application status, activity history, etc. Okay, and what this means is that over here you can actually get a view on what is the highest risk users in terms of the triggered policies and also the risk and usage trends. So these are actually the SaaS applications that we actually do that we support right now. So there are a lot more SaaS applications that are coming in the future releases. So let me just touch on licensing. Okay, so SASE itself, right, what we offer over here is that we actually offer 3 unique skills in terms of the SASE product offering. So the first SASE skill that we offer is the standard offering, which is a very simple turnkey offering for a single vendor SASE solution, which offer features from firewall as a service, ZTNA, CASB, and endpoint security. Okay, so this is actually delivered through our Forti Cloud compute locations. So in this user-based licensing, right, that we offer, we actually offer these few key features over here. Okay, so I think one key thing to highlight over here is that the ZTNA is actually delivered through our Forti client. So what this means is that since Forti client is included in FortiSASE, customers can also enjoy the EPP, which comes with the endpoint security that's actually available on the Forti client. Okay. So I think this is actually going to be in the mid-quarter Q4 price list. So you may actually heard of the latest release that we have on the new FortiSASE product offering that we have. Okay, so in this new FortiSASE product offering that we have actually made in the announcement in late October is that there's two key things that we have announced. One is the new advanced license tier. Okay, so this new advanced license tiers, right, is actually additional features that we offer based on the standard offering. Okay, so what this offers is that it offers a dedicated IP address for each of the 4 regions that is included in the FortiSASE. It also includes the digital experience monitoring, which can monitor SaaS applications like Office 365, Zoom, Salesforce, etc. in terms of the digital experience monitoring from the port. Okay, so in phase 2 itself, for the we will be able to monitor from the client. Okay, so there's also other features that's offered with this advanced license tier is that there's also a forensic services. This means that customers can submit endpoints for analysis directly from FortiSASE portal. So you can actually send suspicious endpoints for detailed analysis of Fortinet to get much more incident investigation and response. Okay, so the next use case is for SOC as a service. So I understand that maybe for you as a partner itself, right, you may not have the resources or capability to provide this kind of services to your customer. What you could actually do is that you can actually leverage on Fortinet on the advanced license tier, whereby the FortiSASE itself, right, will send logs to FortiAnalyzer Cloud that is hosted by our SOC team. Okay, so what this means is that the SOC as a service analyst team from Fortinet will review the incidents and get back to the customers that are happening on the network. So what this means for you as a partner is that you could actually offer the endpoint forensic service, SOC as a service, etc., just by reselling Fortinet solution. So which means that Fortinet will do the heavy lifting. For you as a partner itself, right, you will just need to just resell this solution. So this means is that you are able to offer endpoint forensic service, SOC as a service to your customers without having to invest in your own MSSP skill sets to offer these services. Okay. So another key announcement that you may have heard is that Fortinet have actually partnered with Google Cloud Platform to provide a global coverage for FortiSASE solution with 100+ locations. Okay, so this partnership enables our customers to leverage on Google's cloud global network edge locations closest to their regions of presence and help to deliver a lower latency and a 99.99% serviceability. Okay, so these new locations will help meet your customers' demands where Fortinet SASE solutions presence is actually limited and allow you to have a very confident SASE engagement with global customers. Okay, so this partnership that Fortinet have with GCP will accelerate customers' adoption of Fortinet's universal SASE solution. So these new locations will be made gradually available based on in a phased approach. Okay, so this is actually a separate skill that we actually offer. So there are 2 types of skills right now. One is the FortiSASE standard skills and the advanced skills. This is actually deployed on our FortiCloud compute locations. The FortiSASE comprehensive skill, right, is delivered on the GCP compute locations. So some just to recap some of the fundamental elements for Fortinet Universal SASE. Okay, so one key thing that we want to highlight to you as our partner is that Fortinet's FortiSASE solution is actually powered by our FortiOS, okay, which is actually one single OS across the platform. Okay, and the other thing is that because this is actually AI and machine learning driven through our FortiGuard security, so which means that customer can enjoy a consistent security posture through the universal SASE approach. And thirdly, we offer a unified Forti client agent for customers to connect to our FortiSASE. So which means that customers will be able to enjoy features like EPP, ZTNA, sandboxing, and also other features like boundary management, and also digital experience monitoring through the FortiSASE solution. Okay, so what this means is that from a user experience, user will actually get a better user experience because there's actually a full security stack that we offer per pop. So this is actually very scalable cloud network that we offer through the GCP and also our own Forti Cloud compute locations. Okay. So let's just talk about the analyst and customer validation. Okay. So you can see that Gartner actually recognizes vendors in this market based on reviews from verified end customers. Okay. So in terms of the Forti SASE itself, right, we actually Fortinet actually received base 4.7 rating out of 5 with over 80 plus reviews. Okay, so it is actually you can also see that Gartner also has actually listed us as a single vendor SASE in the August 2023 Magic Quadrant for single vendor SASE. Okay. So this is actually what I talk about. So Fortinet actually recognizes, Gartner recognizes Fortinet as a challenger in the inaugural Gartner Magic Quadrant for single vendor SASE. So over here you can see that Gartner actually ranked us quite highly in the single vendor SASE approach in the new Magic Quadrant. Okay, and over here you can see that in terms of the Forrester Wave Zero Trust Edge Solutions Q3 2023, Fortinet have actually received the top score in the strategy category, and we have the second highest score in terms of the market presence category. So the Forrester code for Fortinet Zero Trust Edge solution is that Fortinet is able to balance security and networking with eye-popping value. Okay. So I think before we end, before we end on my part of the webinar, just keep a quick recap on the key business outcomes. So not all SASE solutions are created equal. Okay, so what we offer over here is we offer a consistent security, and this helps customers to overcome security gaps and minimize attack surface with a consistent security posture across the physical office and remote users. Okay, so in terms of user experience, Fortinet actually offer a better user experience because our SD-WAN solution can actually offer features like intelligent steering and dynamic routing via our cloud delivered SD-WAN solution. Okay, in terms of the operation efficiency, you can see that customers are actually looking into consolidating various point products with the universal vendor SASE approach and shift towards a much more OPEX based model. So these are the things that for customers who are actually looking into vendor consolidation, they should be looking into Fortinet Forti SASE solution because we actually offer a much more consistent experience for both on-prem and remote user security to help to reduce security gaps, simplify operation, and also reduce overhead resources associated with set-wide configuration. So I think before I end, before I pass over to Damien to run through a demo. So these are actually the additional resources for you as a partner that you could actually be looking at if you are interested in working with us for SASE solution. Okay. So the first thing is that if you are looking into, you can actually visit www.fortisase.com to get an introduction to Forti SASE and also browse through some of the Forti SASE documentation whereby we will highlight how do we actually do the 4Ds in terms of design, define, deploy, and demo the security solution using Forti SASE. Okay. Over there, you can also find out our Fortinet Forti SASE product certification. Okay. So in terms of the demo, so if you are keen to actually demo Forti SASE solution itself, you could actually reach out to Ingram Micro. Okay. Or what you could actually do is that you could also purchase a Forti SASE NFR skill, whereby Fortinet actually offer already a pre-discounted NFR skill at $1,000. Okay, so this actually offers a subscription for 50 test users with SPA use case via unified agent and also a cloud delivered security for IPS, DNS, SSL, anti-malware, and CASB. Okay, so this is actually limited to 2 security pops, and this is only for partner use and not for resale. Okay, so if you are actually keen to actually understand how do we actually design Forti SASE and the key component, we also offer a self-paced learning on our Fortinet training portal. You could actually click on this link over here on the Forti SASE training link. This is actually a self-paced course, which is actually a 5-hour course that you could actually look at on how to react on a self-paced learning on Fortinet Forti SASE. Okay, so over here itself, we also have one YouTube link whereby you can actually go through this YouTube link to see how do we the demo of FortiSASE, and watch a pre-recorded SASE demo here. Okay, so if you have actually purchased the Fortinet FortiSASE skill itself, right, and you want to set up a demo to generate pipelines with your customers, okay, you can actually approach us. We will really help you to send you a setup guide on how you can actually demo FortiSASE using the NFR skill that you have purchased, and also demo script. Okay, so I think that's my part of the presentation. So I will hand this over to Damien, who will run through with you on the demo that he has set up in Ingram Micro that you as a partner can actually leverage on to demo use cases like secure internet access, secure private access, and also the inline CASB. Okay, over to you, Damien.
Yep, thank you, Dave. Okay, so good morning, everyone, and good afternoon to all, depending on where you're from. My name is Damien, APEC Cybersecurity Engineer for Ingram Micro's Technology Experience Center. The Technology Experience Center, or we call TEC, is a showroom.
Damien, you're not sharing your screen.
Yeah, I'll be sharing my screen. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe I'll just share my screen. Yeah, you are seeing something, right?
Yes, we're seeing it.
Okay,
thanks.
Yeah, I'll just give a short intro before I go into the presentation and demo. Yeah. Okay, so as I was saying, our TEC is a showroom at Ingram Micro's Singapore office, where we build up and demo our cybersecurity solutions to our partners and end customers. Our solution presentations and demos can be done either in person at TEC or via remote sessions, where partners and end customers will get a good understanding of Ingram Micro's cybersecurity offerings and what we can do. Now, through this experience of TEC, our partners and customers would be able to tap on both Fortinet's as well as Ingram Micro's expertise, which will then help our partners and end customers make an informed decision for the cybersecurity solutions needed for your office. Now, that's a short introduction of myself and TEC. Now, I'll go on to present an overview of the Fortinet use cases, which I'll be demoing. Okay, you are seeing my slide. Is that correct?
Yes, Damien, we are seeing our slides.
Okay, thank you. Okay, here is the topology diagram of my setup for today's demo. You see here there's the FortiSASE cloud with these two security points of presence, or POPs in short, that will link between the FortiSASE Secure Private Access Hub that's hosted in TEC and to the FortiSASE cloud. Now, the primary POP is located in Singapore, while the secondary POP is located in Tokyo, Japan. The two POPs are operating with redundancy in order to maintain a consistent connection with the hub. Use case 1 will showcase how FortiSASE web application filtering works. First, we have to understand what is the organization or your customer's pain points. Firstly, employees may use their own work laptop to browse unsanctioned websites during their spare time. Secondly, the IT team has a lack of control over some of the users' activities, and this can open the door to malwares and viruses to enter the corporate network. And lastly, employees may try to actually send company-sensitive data to their personal cloud storage. Now, without proper data controls, companies will not be able to meet compliance or regulatory standards. Now, how can FortiSASE help to resolve the customer's pain points? FortiSASE's web filter capability can actually block unsanctioned websites, so users will not be able to access them. It can also help to block accidental or deliberate downloading of malware-infected files from the internet. Also, it can also stop users from accessing personal cloud storage services, thereby preventing data leakage. For use case 2, I will show how FortiSASE can apply tenant restriction for SaaS apps, as well as restrict shadow IT. What is the customer's pain point on this? Firstly, customers that have a corporate SaaS application like Office 365, they will expect their employees to access the corporate tenant of the SaaS app and not the non-corporate one. Restricting users' access by the destination URL will not be the solution here. The second pain point is that employees may access cloud apps, for example, their personal Outlook, and try to upload companies' sensitive documents. And this sensitive corporate data may be exposed to unintended parties. Then how would FortiSASE help to resolve customers' pain points? FortiSASE can provision controls such that users can actually access the corporate SaaS tenant and not the non-corporate one. FortiSASE will also prevent users from accessing personal cloud apps. And the end result of this is that the IT team has control over the users' access to cloud storage and SaaS apps, thereby protecting data leakage from their organization. And lastly, for the third use case, I will demo on the secure private access and endpoint posture check with CTNA. What is the customer's pain point? The controls offered by the traditional VPN is rather basic. What this means is that once the user logs into the corporate VPN, there's no further verification of the endpoint posture. The second pain point is that if users were to connect their device, like their laptop or mobile phone, to the corporate network, it needs to be trusted or compliant with the IT policy. Now, the question is, what solution is needed to implement such controls? Now, the solution offered here is with FortiSASE. How it can resolve the pain point? Firstly, through its secure private access, or SPA in short, you can create a secure tunnel from the employee's laptop or mobile phone from one end to the corporate network on the other end, where corporate resources such as application file servers are located. And secondly, IT can apply controls with FortiSASE, such as the employee's device needing to fulfill specific compliance requirements. For example, the antivirus software must be installed and running on the endpoint before the device can access the corporate resources within the network. Okay, now I'll proceed on to the actual demo, the live demo. Okay, here you see is the remote end user or employee's laptop, right? You can see here is my Forti client, and it's currently connected to the FortiSASE. Now, as a end user, for example, I may go to different websites. For example, a news website like CNN. Now, as the web page loads, you can see on the URL bar here, there's a log icon. What this means is that the connection to this website is a secure connection. And if I were to zoom in on this section here, you can see here under the issued by, the certificate is actually issued by the owner, which is Fortinet, where the SSL interception and decryption is done by the Fortinet security pod. Now, as an end user, I may try to browse to different websites. For example, leisure websites, like going to Tesla website. And you can see here the website page is blocked because this is a policy setting on FortiSASE to block categories like personal vehicles from users to try to access. As a user, I may also try to browse other websites like gambling. Okay, because this is an unsanctioned website, hence it is blocked, and you can see the category here, gambling. Another site that a user may actually try to access is WhatsApp web, where you may know WhatsApp can be used for communication as well as to do file transfer. But again, because on the FortiSASE site, configuration has been done to block access to the WhatsApp web. Here you can see the result is my attempt to access this website is blocked. I may even go further to try to do personal stuff like trying to play online games. So going to this Roblox website, again, the result is a block result by FortiSASE. So there are different websites that allows users to download files. Now, one website that I want to demo here is this iCar.org. It is a website to allow me to try to download malware files. Okay, so I'll go to this download section. Okay, and attempt to download this zip file that contains malware. Okay, I've clicked on it, and you see that I'm not permitted to download this file because it is infected with malware. As a normal user, I may have my own personal cloud storage apps, for instance, Dropbox. So as a user, let's say I try to upload certain company sensitive documents to my personal Dropbox. So here I will go to my personal folder in Dropbox and attempt to upload a company document that is containing sensitive info. And if you see at the bottom right corner that although it is trying to upload, but the end result is the upload process will not complete. So this is an action and a setting done on FortiSASE that blocks the upload. Suppose I want to push this even further and try to use my other personal cloud storage to upload, again, company documents. So I go to my personal folder here, and again, try to upload a company document. And if you see at the bottom right, the upload has actually failed. Again, these are all policies configured in FortiSASE to block file uploads to personal storage websites. Okay, so that was my demo for use case 1, which is on web app filtering. Now I will demo on the second use case, which is on tenant restriction for SaaS and restrict shadow IT. My company has its own corporate Office 365 tenant. So here I will access my corporate O365 tenant account as usual doing my daily work. But suppose I have my own personal O365 account, but this is non-corporate approved. And my intention here, as I'm doing a demo, is I want to try to access this other non-corporate tenant. As you can see, this second one, I'll try to access to try to upload company documents. Now I'll enter my password here. Although the authentication is successful, but due to the FortiSASE rules that has been configured, accessing non-corporate approved tenants or personal tenants is blocked. Let's say I decide to...
Yeah, Damien, I think that's a very good demo, right? Because I think essentially, if you take a look at what we have discussed earlier on the SaaS applications, is that I think a lot of our customers right now, when they talk about hybrid work itself, right, they want to prevent their employees from accessing unsanctioned SaaS applications, and then also help and also looking into whether these employees, right, are actually uploading or authenticating or connecting to a different tenant for the SaaS applications. So I think what your demo did over here is that because I think your FortiSASE policies have already configured that only certain specific tenants are allowed to be used by the user, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's the add on. Yeah, go on, sorry. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Thanks, Dave, for further adding on. Now, suppose, let's say I want to try other means to upload company documents. I will go to the outlooklive.com, which is actually trying to access my personal Outlook account. But because this, again, is configured on FortiSASE to disallow user to access personal email accounts, hence you see here, I'm not able to access this website. So this was my demo for the use case number 2, which is on the tenant restriction for SaaS and restrict shadow IT. Now I will go on to demo on the third use case, which is secure private access and endpoint posture check with CTNA. Okay, now back to my desktop here, end user's desktop. You will see on this window here, the zero trust text. Right now it's showing a tag which is compliance device. So currently the device is considered compliant. And what is the definition of a compliant device? Again, it comes down to what I've configured on FortiSASE. So for my setup here, a compliance device is one that a device that's antivirus installed and is running, as well as its Windows firewall has been enabled. So hence, it is considered a compliant device. Now, only by a device being compliant, then has a user with an endpoint device like this, I can access my corporate intranet website. Okay, so now I try to access a corporate intranet website, and I'm able to access the website, no problem. Now, suppose, what if a device is considered non-compliant, right? So on this same machine, I will make a step, which is to let the device fail the device compliance check. I will do so by going to the Windows firewall and turning the Windows firewall off. Okay, so pay attention again to this zero trust text section here. Currently, it's still showing compliance device, but later on you'll notice the tag will change. Because FortiClient will call FortiSASE Cloud for updates every 60 seconds. So after 60 seconds or within 60 seconds, you will receive the tag called the non-compliant tag. Now again, to showcase, okay, so you see immediately that, in a few seconds, the tag has changed to non-compliant device. So again, this with ZTNA, this is a contrast with the traditional VPN or all for nothing approach, where with ZTNA, it's always about trying to verify the posture of the device, right? So this is very important, because if a device has been compromised or is considered non-compliant, it can lead to hackers hacking into the corporate network, which is what we don't want. Okay, so now with the device being non-compliant, let's go back to the browser and try to access the same corporate intranet website again. And you'll notice it is processing, but eventually this machine, this endpoint device, never gets to enter the corporate intranet network because it has failed the device posture check. Okay, so that was my demo for use case number 3, which is on the secure private access and endpoint posture check with ZTNA. Now, after seeing all the demos from the end user or endpoint perspective, let's switch over to view over at the FortiSASE Cloud, which is more a view for the administrator. Now we will see some settings that was used for the earlier few demos, as well as the user activity logs. I'll go to Configuration, Security, and under the Web Filter with Inline CASB, okay, I click on Customize. I want to show you under the FortiGuard category-based filter by me scrolling down over the different categories. And what you see here, for example, gambling, which is a block action, and categories like games, as well as personal vehicles. All these 3 are having the block action, which was what I demoed earlier on those websites as I tried to browse. FortiSASE has actually blocked me browsing those categories, right? So it's because of the settings that is configured over here. I will go to another section to show you the user activity logs. So this is the main page of the different logs. I will first go to the web filter with inline CASB. The display here will show all the user activities for this web filter. But as an administrator, if I want to narrow down to a specific view, I will select, for instance, the block action under the action column. And what I can see and gives me a very good view as an administrator will be all the different block actions on the activities. So as you can see here, the gambling website access, game access, personal vehicle access were those as I was trying to access earlier. These are being captured here in this log section. And coming back to this main page, I'll go through the application control, also to show you a different log for application control. Okay, so similarly, I will select block and apply because, for instance, my interest is to see what has been blocked. And the result will show that for the earlier activities, as I was trying to upload files to Google Drive, as well as Dropbox. So these are the activities that has been blocked. So I've come to the end of my demo. I hope you have gained a better understanding of the features of FortiSASE's web access controls, as well as its ZTNA capabilities. So now we move on to the next part, which is on any Q&A that you may have.
Yeah. So thanks Damien. A wonderful demo. So Damien, so this demo is actually available for Ingram Micro partners to use, right, for their customers. Am I right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So I
So
think
to
Damien,
add on,
there
right, Dave?
yeah.
Sorry.
Go on,
So
Dave.
if any of the partners here wanted to use this demo or wanted to see this demo in more details, okay, can you reach out to any of our Ingram Micro associate? I have also pinned the name in the name and the contacts, right, into the chat box. Yeah, and of course, this deck will also be shared later with the contact details for Ingram Micro.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks. Yeah. So I think Damien, I think there are actually a few questions that were raised by the attendees. So maybe you want to touch on the first three questions first. Yeah. Since we still have like a few more minutes before we end the session. Damien, you're on mute.
Yeah, okay, sure. So there's a question. One question is, what is the typical use case for customer to move to SASE?
Yeah. Okay. So I think this is actually a very good question. So in fact, the typical use cases for customers to move to SASE is actually, like what I mentioned earlier, is to refresh their VPN approach for remote work, whereby they want to actually add on ZTNA to verify the posture of the endpoint before these users can access the internet browsing and also the secure private application access. Okay, so majority of the use cases that we see from customers for SASE, right, is actually primarily to do with the security challenges that comes with hybrid work. Okay, yeah, and the other use cases that we see is also customers could also be looking into how do they prevent challenges like shadow IT, whereby they do not want their employees, right, to access unsanctioned SaaS applications. So I think, Damien, you're rightfully to point out in your demo is that, like, for instance, Dropbox and Google Drive. So maybe these are some of the SaaS applications that the customers do not want their employee to access, like doing certain actions like uploading. So your demo covered it quite well, whereby with FortiSASE itself, right, they can actually prevent their employees from uploading confidential documents to SaaS applications like Dropbox or Google Drive. Yeah.
Okay,
So,
there's another question. So another question is, does each use case require a different endpoint agent to be installed?
Okay, good question. So essentially, FortiClient is included with FortiSASE. So what we offer over here is the this unified agent called the FortiClient that comes with FortiSASE. It supports features like ZTNA, CASB, and also endpoint protection. Okay, so no multiple agents are needed. Okay, so in the future releases, right, this FortiClient that comes included with FortiSASE will also offer digital experience monitoring. So this DEM feature, right, is actually included in the advanced licensing that I've mentioned earlier in the presentation. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks, Dave. One more question is, does the secure private access, is it included in the SKU?
Yeah, good question. So essentially for the secure private access itself, right, if you actually purchase the FortiGate itself, there is actually a secure private access SKU that you need to purchase for those locations whereby you have the private application hosted. So for instance, if you have a data center, maybe in a Singapore office, and there are some servers behind the FortiGate that you want, they want the remote users to access for private application access, what you need to do is that you need to purchase the SPA license on the FortiGate for secure private application access. Whereas on the FortiSASE skill side, right, there's actually no additional skills that's needed. So what this means is that for customers to enjoy SPA, right, it comes included in the FortiSASE skill. What they need to do is that as additional licensing is that they just need to make sure that on the FortiGate that they have in their data center, they just need to make sure that they purchase the SPA skill for the FortiGate. That's all. Yeah.
Okay, thanks, Dave.
Okay, any other questions? Yeah, I think that's all. That's all we have, right? The questions.
Yeah, I think we're also right on time. So before we end this session, just to share with you that we have our next session, which is the third webinar out of our 3-part webinar, right, on the 5th of December. That's coming up 2 weeks later. So you'll be expecting some EDMs to go up very soon. All right. So with today's session, we really appreciate your time. If you have any questions regarding today's session or anything on Fortinet, FortiSASE, or any other questions regarding Fortinet or our PEC, right, please feel free to reach out to ourselves, okay, or any of the Fortinet representatives in Ingram Micro, or even with Fortinet directly. Okay, we are always happy to have a conversation anytime. So once again, thank you very much for attending our webinar today. And thanks for your participation and engagement throughout this webinar. We hope the contents shared today will be insightful and valuable to you. So we hope this will also entice you further to become a Fortinet partner and to sell more as a Fortinet partner. Okay, so with this, we will end today's session and hope to see you again. Have a great day. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Lynn, can we stay on for a while?
Sure.
We can stop recordings.